Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Saturday morning here in Bangkok, Thailand. It's probably Friday night on the East Coast of the United States. And today we are going to talk about Thailand's latest tourist scheme. And will that tourist scheme allow you to travel to Thailand? We're also going to cover all the other tourist schemes that Thailand has implemented over the last year. And we're going to see if those tourist schemes worked or if they didn't work. And ultimately, we'll boil this conversation down to, hey, what can we do? Right? So I'll start that in a minute. Let me just say good morning to Philthos and Autumn and Asia and Robert. Griffin, good to see you, bud. MetTech, good to see you in here. And thank you guys very much for my channel members. I hope that you are enjoying the content over there. I have decided to do one exclusive video for you from Ko Chang, which will be out sometime next week. Hey, Bob, good to see you, man. That goes for you too, Bob. if if you've not been, hey Lyle, good to see you. Roger, what's up, buddy? Morning, evening, whatever. LOL. Roger's just having the time of his life, and that's a good thing. But if you are not a channel member, I encourage you to become one. Super inexpensive. Just hit the join button down below, and it'll tell you what you get. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. But I will be using the channel membership for some exclusive content other than just behind the scene photo shoots. So I want to talk about Thailand's tourism schemes and really what's working and what's not. Okay. But first, before we talk about all the schemes that Thailand has implemented and how well they've worked or have not worked, Thailand has a new scheme planned to open Thailand for this is planned for next month. So this is March. I assume this will be opening in April. Rocco, good morning. Or evening to you, sir. So the headline, this is from Bangkok Jack, but you can find this information on Thai Visa and some other websites. And if you hadn't hit the thumbs up button, please feel free to do so. What else am I forgetting before I get started? Can't remember. Oh, any channel contributions will all go towards travel in April now. Travel in April. I'm going to have some time off in April. So if the channel fund gets there, then we'll go traveling in April. And if it doesn't, then we'll make videos here in April. Pray for it. Good morning. Good to see you, sir. All right. So the government of Thailand has unveiled its area quarantine plan to open Thailand to foreign tourists from next month. Oh, this sounds so good at the very beginning. Area quarantine will be piloted, I should say Area Q, will be piloted in 5 provinces popular with foreign tourists. Hey, Jeff. Chiang Mai, Phuket, Krabi, Surat Thani, that includes Koh Samui and Koh Phangan, and Chonburi, which also includes Pattaya. So 5 of the most heavily tourist areas in Thailand this will affect. And it sounds absolutely great because it is a 3-day quarantine or 3-day queue. According to, oh God, I think I just did an ad. I did. According to the initial reports, yeah, I'm going to read it to you. A 3-day queue. They've got it down to 3 days. Or do they? Hey, Mark, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us in the chat this morning. I really appreciate it. So we have an area quarantine. I'm going to try to say queue as much as possible. We have an area queue that is now down to 3 days, guys. But let's read the fine print. Area Q will be, I just read you where it'll be piloted. I'll say it again, Chiang Mai, Phuket, Krabi, Surat Thani, which includes Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, and Chonburi, which includes Pattaya. Tourism and Sports Minister Pipat, I can't say his last name, revealed details of the plan after meeting with the Public Health Ministry and 216 operators. Under the plan's timeline, this sounds so good. Under the plan's timeline, tourists will queue in their rooms for the first 3 days. 3 days. 3 days. And then you get a swabby, okay? And if you're negative, you will be granted access to the entire hotel or resort until your 14 days are up. I'm not laughing at Thailand in any way, form, or fashion. This is not derogatory towards Thailand in any form or fashion. This is just another, I mean, yeah, it's April, right? April is the first of April Fool's Days. Thank you, Robert, for putting the PayPal link up there. I appreciate that. I'll pin that to the top just in case anybody wants to or feels like contributing. That would be nice. But it will still be a fancy resort at $120 a day. Absolutely, it's not going to cost less, I'm sure, than your average 14-day queue. Okay. Filtho says baby steps forward is forward. I'm all about baby steps. I agree, but the reasoning behind this is the problem that that's still an improvement. Baby steps, says Roger. LOL. Well, yeah, you had to do all 14 of yours in a hotel room, so I understand. Now, after the 14 days, they will be tested again. If nothing's found, they will be allowed to travel freely throughout. Here's the other one. Listen carefully. Freely through the Q area. Well, what does that mean? The Q area, if you remember, I said there were going to be 5 regions, 5 provinces. So whatever province that you want to have your tourist vacation in, you will be allowed to travel freely in that province, according to the way that this is worded. Now, could this be worded the wrong way? Sure. Could this article be what's the word I'm looking for? Misconstrued in some way? It's possible. It says the plan will be operated via 29 travel agencies supervised by the Tourism Authority of Thailand. Check this out. Revenue from foreign tourists generated 2 trillion, it's a baht, of Thailand's total 3.01 trillion tourism trade in 2019. Tourism accounted for around 17% of GDP in 2019. As we know, the only reason I believe the reason that the number is that high is because of the amnesty that was put in place. And a lot of people were still considered tourists when they were here. So that's the one scheme that I really wanted to cover with you guys. So now you can get 3 days in a resort or a hotel. You have to stay in your room for 3 days. And after those 3 days, if you pick a nice, luxurious, more way to spend money resort or hotel, then you will be allowed, as long as everything's good on the testing, you will be allowed to move freely around the grounds, so to speak. So for me, if I was a tourist and I was looking to come to Thailand, these schemes are just getting kind of, I don't know. Let's re-examine the schemes that Thailand has brought forth thus far. Okay, so the first real scheme that they put in place in terms of tourism schemes to bring tourism back to Thailand, the first scheme that they put in place was the special tourist visa. The special tourist visa, for those of you that don't know, was a tourist visa that you could renew twice, but it was a 90-day tourist visa. So you could stay essentially 9 months in Thailand. MedTech says, I want to move freely around my girlfriend, not an overpriced hotel. That's true. Autumn and Asia says that's like a cruise ship on land. That's a good way to describe it, my friend. Certainly is a good way to describe it. Again, I want to stress, I'm not being negative here. Not being negative at all about Thailand's tourism schemes. They're trying their best. They're doing everything that they can. My hat's off to them. This is not a negative, but it just goes to show that, and I'm going to get into this again. The Prime Minister has said, and this is, I mean, if somebody wants to report me for saying this, please feel free to, because he's come out and said in at least 2 articles that I know of that I've read that just because you have the magic shot, right, does not mean that you are that it works. So I don't know what the cabinet's going to do about all this. They have numerous ways. I watched a video on Integrity Legal. This is, by the way, all this right here is after the magic shot. Okay, so you got to have that first and foremost. You still have to have fit to fly. You still have to have certificate of entry. You still have to have you got to have the insurance. You know, you got to have your tourist insurance. Then you got to have your insurance for it. Also, Rocco says, and if you don't like golf, you're basically well. There's also what Rocco's talking about. There's also a golf queue you can do where you can move around golf courses. Well, you can at the same golf course, you can move around the golf course and play golf. You know, stay socially distanced and that kind of thing. I think that's a very neat scheme to be brought in. I hope that it helps the people get back over here that want to get over here. The bottom line is, and I'm going to go into more depth in this in a second, is if you don't have money and you don't have plenty of time off, you're not coming to Thailand right now. You're not coming. You're not coming. It's that simple. So Prep for it says there's definitely a disconnect between the powers that be and how much Thailand relies on tourists. I would be fine with 3 days, then stay in Pattaya only. That's true, but you're gonna have to pay that hefty price tag more than likely to stay at a nice resort or hotel where you can quote unquote move around freely after 3 days. For the remainder of your 14, or it's actually 15. MedTech says I can do the negative for you. I understand. Marinko G, I want to have it crowded, good atmosphere. It's not going to happen this year. Probably correct. Most probably correct. Decision Time says I would jump all over the STV except having to show paid accommodations for 3 months. Too hard to pick a place online. That is a good, very good point. Decision Time. You have to pick a place online. You have to stay, and you would have to stay there for 3 months. So, getting back, yeah, Roger. It's yeah, that's what. So you know, yeah, there's a catch-22 behind all of it. So after to Decision Time's point, so the special tourist visa was made so that you could come to Thailand, you could queue in a hotel for 14 days, okay, And then you, after that 14 days, if everything checked out and you were clear, you could travel Thailand. You could, you're here on a tourist visa. You could go around and that kind of thing. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, 14 days, 14 days. That's pretty much the whole point of this video, Bob. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole point. And you hit the nail on the head. That's right. With the STV, however, that was the first tourist visa, to my knowledge, that they brought in where you could get here, but you had to have that's when the Fit to Fly, the certificate of entry, the additional insurance requirements, both insurance requirements, which is the insurance you now need to come to Thailand, then the insurance for it. Both of those were put into place. So a lot of extra money spent there. The initial spending on the quarantine hotels or the Q hotels were a little more pricey than they are now. The price has come down a little bit, thankfully. We're glad for that. And it, for the most part, it really just didn't work and it flopped. And even the Thai media was calling it not a success. So I think, that was the first look at, okay, well, what can we do different? Ottoman Asia says, to me, it sounds like they're doing anything to say they're doing something, but in reality is nothing. I can't comment on that, but yeah, I can't comment on that because I live here, but that's your comment, Autumn. I'll leave it at that. The next step was the 45-day tourist visa. So they're going to give you a tourist visa, and they're going to, instead of you doing the regular 30-day tourist visa, and then if you want to extend it 30 more days, you can stamp or whatever, or getting a regular tourist visa from an embassy in your home country and then coming. No, I don't need to take it down. It's not my comment. It's all good, Autumn. Trust me, it's all good. But what's up, Travel TV? Good to see you, man. Hope you are getting ready to make your way back over Southeast Asia somewhere, brother. MetTech says, Autumn, I agree with your evaluation of the situation. I think many people probably would. Or you could get a tourist visa in your home country for the 60 days, and then you come here and you could extend once and get 90 days. Well, so after the STV, they kicked in a 45-day tourist visa that you could get. So you could at that time, you could come to Thailand, you could get your 45-day tourist visa, but the 45 days is so you can spend the 14, 15 days in queue. Okay. And then you have 30 days to travel, and I think you can renew it once. That was their next tourism scheme here in Thailand. And again, trying to bring people back in. But they desperately need it. Jimmy, I don't know who you are, but we don't even go there on this channel. Well, the problem with the 45-day was you still had to kick out the extra between 1,500 USD and all the way up to whatever you wanted to spend on your 14-day queue. And we've said all along on this channel consistently, I have remained consistent, and so have most of the vast majority of the people that listen to these live streams. Until the 14-day queue is dropped, until it's gone, right? Tourism is not going to return. I mean, mass tourism, there's not going to be an influx of tourism in Thailand. There's just not. Because your average person one, most people don't have that kind of vacation time, and two, they don't have that kind of money to spend on coming here. And I hate it because I hate it for them. I hate it for the tourists, and I hate it for Thailand. I hate it for both because Thailand needs the tourism. They desperately need the tourism. Believe me, guys. Um, I've been around. Yeah, we're talking about a Thailand issue first off. Machine Head 21-8, whatever you are. So if you're going to get outside the boundaries of what we're talking about, and think you're going to put me in my place, you got another thing coming, bro. In fact, let me go up and read some comments real quick. Filto says, I marvel that the airlines are not offering ticket inclusive of insurance. Me too. Seems like a perfect opportunity to set up a group insurance plan and profit and promote air travel. 100% agree. Now, we did talk about AirAsia last week for domestic travel here in Thailand. They've offered I think it's 3,600 baht package for domestic travelers here. You fly anywhere you want to. The catch is you have to tell them 27 days in advance. You have to book your ticket that far in advance. We're talking about a Thailand issue. Mean Red Machine Head. We're specifically talking about the issue as it relates to Thailand. So that involves, of course, that would involve international travel, which we're going to get to later on the live stream. What we're talking about, these are Thailand tourism schemes that we're talking about. So it is directly a Thailand issue. Now, moving along, Travel TV says, we'll see, waiting for Thailand to open up, but it looked like it may be Cambodia if I can hold out. We'll see. I hear you, brother. I hope you get to come back. Okay, I'll take your word for it, Mean Red Machine Head. I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying. I'm not. I'm not that guy. I'm just not. I'm just not. I'm here to talk about one specific topic, and that's what I'm going to talk about. That's all I'm saying, bro. Rocco says, being in Europe, this latest scheme does not tempt me. ASQ is always the stopper. It always will be. It always will be. Alderman Asia says, I have been thinking the same thing, Travel TV. Yeah. I don't know what the options are right now for Cambodia, but, Fred says, good evening from Reading, Pennsylvania. Good evening to you, sir. I've been thinking myself, it may be time. If things don't happen soon, because I have plans here in Thailand to do some things, but if they don't happen soon, I'm probably going to leave. And I don't know where I'm going to go yet, but I'm probably going to leave. MedTech says, are Thai subject to the same 14-day queue? Should the Thai vacation elsewhere? They are subject to the same 14-day queue when they come back in. Decision time is a good question. Autumn says, Cambodia is easier, but still the queue. Yeah. Lyle says, 35 watching, only 15 thumbs up, 0 thumbs down. That means we have no trolls yet. That's a good thing. So if you feel like you're enjoying the content, by all means, please hit the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. So back to the 45-day thing. Nobody could afford it, right? And the very few people that could, listen to Tad from Yokohama. It's been quite a time since we met. Listen to Tad from Yokohama. Okay, Tad. I don't remember, but it's good to have you here. Thank you. The money that's being spent, like we got people that in this chat right now that have come over, but they are here to stay, right? They're not here to go back after 45 days or after 9 months or anything like that. One person came here because he was desperate. Well, not desperate, but he came here because he really wanted to come here, and he really wanted to see this part of Thailand. He's kind of doing his initial check, right? And he went back home. But for the most part, the vast majority of people that come to Thailand right now and go through the 14-day queue, go through all the hoops that you have to go through in order to get into Thailand, are people that are either retiring here or going to work here. That's pretty much the whole population center. I mean that you're either finding people that are going to be on a mayor's visa, a retirement visa, or a work visa. That's it. Tourist visas, not so much. It's because that the queue just costs too much. It just does. I think it's, when you develop the magic shot, right, and you there's been some a few horror stories around it, but I've heard nothing major around any of the around those stories that would cause me to be like, nope, can't do it. So if you're gonna take it, then you got to assume that it works. I mean, you have to assume it works. So now you're looking at a situation where Thailand is saying that, well, not Thailand itself, but some of the higher ups in Thailand, according to Thai media, are saying that, well, we don't know if it's going to work or not. We're going to give it to you. We don't know if it's going to work. I've said it before and I'll say it again. At some point, you have to come to a decision, or at some point, you have to be brave enough to make a decision. Okay. And with the therapeutics that are available for this particular problem, you can almost rest assured, as long as you're not really, really old, or as long as you don't have, bad health conditions, that we all know what we're talking about here. I'm not going to get into detail. That with the therapeutics you have, and that they have in this country, Thailand has a great healthcare system. I use it all the time, and it's wonderful. So just with the therapeutics, even if you got sick while you were here, you got insurance to cover you because you got to have it when you come in, and you're more than likely. I mean, Thailand has seen a total of 60 something fatalities out of all the cases they've had. So it kind of makes you wonder why they would continue to prolong. If you are fully what's the word I'm looking for, inoculated, then why not let you come and travel? Why not let you come and be a tourist? Why not let you come and spend your money here in the kingdom? That bring the GDP back. Let people open their businesses again. There are so many businesses, and guys, I still have the videos from Coach Ang, okay, and they're coming. For those of you that don't know, I work 40 hours a week as a teacher. Actually, I work 45 hours a week as a teacher here in Bangkok. So my free time is very limited, and that's why sometimes you get variations of videos at different times. Sometimes, some weeks you might get one every day. Some weeks you might only get 2 or 3. Right now, I've got one more Pattaya video that I recorded last Friday when I was down there during the day. I want to show everybody because it's a complete walkthrough of all the major areas in Pattaya Central in the city: Beach Road, LK Metro, Walking Street, Tree Town, Soy Bukow, the whole 9 yards. So I want to show you guys that. And then the Coach Ang videos will resume. I have a special Coach Ang video, which I will make available to members only. So if you are not a channel member, I highly encourage you to become a channel member right now. It's only $2.99 per month to be a channel member. And I think the channel members in here will vouch that it's probably worth it, and it's getting better all the time. So let me go back up and catch some comments here. Insomniac 92, plan on going at the end of the year if there's no queue. Wondering if 60K USD will be enough for 2 weeks. It should be. If there's no queue, it should be. If you spend 60,000 US dollars in 2 weeks, you're gonna have to stay in a penthouse somewhere and do a lot of partying. That's because that's a lot of money, brother. That's a lot of money. For 2 weeks, that should be more than enough. I've never made, well, I take that back. One time I made $60,000 in a year. Right now, I make about, between my teaching job and YouTube, I probably make about 20,000, 23,000, something like that a year. So it's 60,000 will be more than enough, brother. More than enough. Yeah, Autumn says 60K is good for a couple years. It is. Greg says, I think 60,000 just might cover it. It will. It's a good question, man. If you've never been here before, that's a fair question. I don't blame you for asking. But yeah, 60,000 US dollars will definitely cover you for 2 weeks. Matter of fact, if you can spend $60,000 in 2 weeks, I would love to have you on a live stream. Like we'll do a StreamYard, and you don't have to show your face. But I'll do a StreamYard with you and you can talk about your experience and how you spent $60,000 in 2 weeks in Thailand. I would love to hear that. I really would. Roger said, oh, wait, Rocco says, or have a cranky ex and couldn't be happier to be out at the moment. That's true. Roger says there will be a magic shot passport coming. Yep. Just don't know how long it'll take. It's coming. They're talking about that. For those of you that don't know, that's going to be a passport saying that you've had the magic shot and that you're all set to go. That should lift some of the burden in terms of travel and in terms of travel restrictions that you have to go through. It should, but in certain countries, it may not. I don't know. I hope that passport comes through so everybody can continue moving on with their life, to be honest with you. Insomniac says, thanks, Autumn in Asia. Roger says, about 85 right now. Shot passport about 85 right now. About 85 right now. I don't know what about 85 right now means, Roger. I'm sorry, I got lost. You might not be talking to me. Travel TV says Thailand healthcare system ranks in the top 10 in the world. Yes, it does, and rightfully so. Healthcare here is fantastic. It really is, and that's why I'm saying once you even if worst case scenario you get it. First of all, if you're older and or if you're a person at high risk, frontline workers, etc., you're going to get the magic shot first anyway. And if it's a 2-shot, you're going to get both of them. If it's a one and done, you'll get that one. And it'll probably I mean, I don't see any reason. Nobody said that it hasn't worked. I haven't read one piece of information anywhere. I'm not saying that I'm the know-it-all for information. I'm just saying I personally read a lot of news and keep up with a lot of news. I haven't read anything anywhere at any time about somebody who has got the magic shot and then got the sickness. Hadn't read it. So for Thailand, that would be like taking a risk, basically. A very controlled, a very small risk. Once you start letting people in with the magic shot, compared to I got to be careful. I got to be really careful what I say, so I'm not going to say that. The Ralph says once the V gets more put out there. It might give more confidence opening up travel with lighter restriction, easier hoops to get through. I agree, Ralph, 100%. MedTech says I will laminate my back statement insert to my passport. If it's laminatable, I certainly don't. I mean, I would certainly probably do the same thing. 100%. Why not? Soda Pop Curtis says, my guess is they thought the ASQ was the best source of money. However, it was a complete failure. That could be true. I don't know. Certainly, they knew that ASQ was going to cost more. I mean, obviously. Whether or not that was the total motive behind it, I can't speak to that. I have opinions on it, but I'm not going to share them because I live in Bangkok. I live in Thailand, live and work here. So want to make sure I don't get myself in any trouble. But you can't, and unfortunately, you can't call it a complete failure because people like Roger, well, there you go. Roger's in the next comment. The ASQ allowed me to retire in Thailand. Color me forever grateful. And if you follow Roger, you'll understand he is forever grateful. And I'm happy that he is so happy. I really am. But people like Roger came through the ASQ, and he's here to stay, and he's doing wonderful. So I think that the ASQ itself has not been a complete failure. What the motive behind it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. But I can definitely see why you would feel that way, Soda Pop Curtis. I understand your thinking. I can't show that comment, Alderman Asians. YouTube's got it hidden, but I like that. He's talking about putting a tattoo on his rear if somebody will let him in. Insomniac says, I plan to. MetTech says that would be logical, Jeremy, and hence too much to expect. Well, I mean, that's one. Yeah. I mean, what can you say? Travel TV says $2.99. That's less than a cup of coffee a day. Yes, sir, it is. And you get a whole month. The channel membership, Robert has the channel membership right down here under Insomniac 92, under his post that says, thanks for the info. I didn't know. And that is the channel membership link. Please become a channel member. More and more content's coming out. There's some content there for you already. There is exclusives. We have one, even though we had a little mishap last month with the members only live stream due to notifications from YouTube. But we have a members only live stream once a month. There's also voting. You get to vote on content, some things you want to see. A lot of things in there for $2.99 a month. So thank you for endorsing that, Travel TV. I appreciate it. Filto says, yes, channel membership, extraordinary value. he said that at the beginning of the show as well. Rocco says, actually, it is €2.99 for us. €2.99. That's weird. And your chicks for free. Dire Straits. And Insomniac 92 says, thanks for the info. I didn't know. Hey, man, it's all good, brother. Bring your 60,000 and do your thing. Have a complete, wonderful, wonderful vacation. Decision Time says, do you know the lookup period for pre-existing conditions for health insurance to Thailand? So here's the thing. If they don't look at your pre-existing condition, or the insurance company that I have, anyway. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. There are some insurance companies here that depending on who you go through, you don't have a lookup for pre-existing conditions because they don't check your home country records. They will, however, check to see if you've had hospital visits, doctor visits, and that kind of thing. So that's what why my insurance is a little bit higher. But if you go and get the insurance, in most cases, if you're not getting regular medications within 90 days of your first initial insurance period, you're not going to the doctor on a regular basis within your first 90 days of insurance, then your premium likely will not change. Only with age will it change. So I hope that answers your question. Decision time. If it doesn't, we'll talk offline. I'll explain a little bit more to you. Wild Dove X. I'm favoring the J&J also. Hey, man, it's good to see you, Wild Dove X. Hadn't seen you in a long time. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it very much. Griffin says the big problem is the WHO is not doing anything about a V passport. We all know those people have been an issue for quite some time and don't expect much. MedTech says, yes, the statement is just a card about 2 inches by 2 inches. Cool, man. I'm happy that you're happy that he's happy. MedTech says, that's cool. Lyle says you got your first thumbs down. Awesome. We'll probably have many more, I'm sure. Global FM 247 says, hello to you. And Decision Time says, thanks, you're welcome, sir. And any information I can pass along to you guys is what I'm here for. Hey, James, good to see you, man. Been about 40 minutes of live stream. I hate that you missed it all. Robert Mack, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. That's okay. You guys can come in late. No problem. So we're talking about the tourism schemes, and we talked about the latest tourism scheme, which was to catch you guys up. Basically, they have a they called it the 3-day queue, right? So essentially, you buy a package at a hotel or a resort in one of the 5 areas that they've designated for this program, and they include like Chiang Mai, Surat Thani, Chonburi, and there are 2 others in there. But so for 3 days, you have to stay in your hotel room or your villa, whatever. And then as long as you are negative after that 3 days, you are free to roam about the property. So you're free to roam about the property after those 3 days until your 14 days are up. This will, in my opinion, not have a significant impact on Thailand tourism. It may bring in, it's certainly going to bring in more people that are wealthier, which may be Thailand's ultimate goal. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of where they're leaning, which more power to them. If that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. But it's going to hurt a lot of people that are just average folks that want to take the vacation of a lifetime and come to paradise. Thailand truly is paradise. I've seen enough now to understand why they call Thailand paradise. I've been out some of the islands off of Krabi, and in that area, I've been to Koh Chang now. I've been to Koh Samet. I've been to Hong Island. I've been to Chicken Island. I've been to some other island out there. I've been to Krabi town. I've been to Onang Beach. I've been to Cham. Been to Hua Hin. Been to Pattaya 100,000 times. I've been to I live in Bangkok. Where else have I been? I've been to up north a couple times to different provinces. So I've seen enough of Thailand now to know why people call it paradise and why people really want to travel here. and I want people to travel here because it's such a beautiful place and there's so many opportunities. I still have well over half the country to see. And like I said, my vacation from my job in April, that's all going to depend on the channel fund, whether or not I go out and get more content from a new place. That's all up to the channel fund. But we got a month to put that together. And that's all up to subscribers and people that watch this channel, whether or not they contribute to PayPal or Super Chat, whatever the case may be. It just depends. In this specific case, it'll depend on PayPal's coming in for the rest of the month, because the way AdSense works, I wouldn't get the Super Chats until the 21st of April or 22nd here. Anyway, James says, I want the base model, not a package. I understand, bro. Robert says, just got my new gold card with expiration dates July 2022. EVA has extended people points and card level. That's awesome. That's awesome. And the EVA Airlines is a wonderful, wonderful airline to travel with. If you never have, you should. Travel TV says, is that the property of Thailand? Clarify that for me, Travel TV. I'm not sure, brother. What the property of what you're talking about, as in the property of Thailand. I may just be confused. Chris says, paradise, really, with mosquitoes and jellyfish in the ocean? Yeah, it's still paradise. Sounds like the Gulf Coast of Texas, Greg says. James Dean says, Super Chats, to my understanding, YouTube takes 30%. That's true. They do. They don't take quite, I did learn that they don't take quite that much from this channel anymore. I think they're only taking 25, I think is what the number I read. So it is what it is. I'm not against, here's the bottom line. The PayPal link is pinned at the top of the chat if you want to contribute to the channel and the content. Always need contributions. Always, because there's always equipment to buy. There's always places to go. And if you know anything about teaching in Thailand on a teacher salary, it ain't happening on a teacher salary. So that's why I have the channel fund. And for the last year and a half, channel fund has kept us going and going and going and going. And it may keep us going and going and going again. I don't know. That's not my call to make. That's up to you guys. And, we'll see what happens. But let's see, Chris is laughing. Travel TV says mosquito and jellyfish, just another day in Florida. I hear you there. Soda Pop Curtis says paradise for sure. It is indeed. Travel TV says, you said you could move around the property of the ASQ, was talking about the property of Thailand. Yeah. So the property, just the property of, if you stay at a villa or if you stay at a real expensive hotel or something like that that's got luxury around it, that's got pools and other things there, or they have activities that you can do there, you can move around the property, right? But you can't leave the property until your 14 days are up. That's what I'm saying. And by the wording of the article, I'm not saying this is a fact, okay? Let me be clear. I'm not saying this is a fact, but by the wording of the article, it seems to be that if you're a tourist coming over here and you do your queue in one of the 5 areas, then you are confined to that area for your entire state. And that by area, I mean Chonburi, Chiang Mai, Surat Thani, and the other 5 that the other 3 that I'd read, 2, 3, whatever it was. That's the way the article was worded. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. I want to be clear on that. But that's the way that the article was worded. So just have to see. Ty Guy Bry, good morning. Good to see you, man. Amazing food, amazing weather, awesome people, definitely paradise. It is. And that's one thing people tend to forget during stuff like this. There is the Thai people are very generous. They're very good. They're very helpful. I don't, really some of the nicest people I've met. And there were some real nice people I met in the Philippines as well. That I'm talking about the Philippine people. I'm not talking about expats in the Philippines because God knows I did a YouTube short on why expats need to grow up that are over here. It's unbelievable the amount of childishness that goes on between expats. It's like, dude, we should all be in this together. You know what I mean? Like, I used to love Mike saying, he used to say he had something, but he had a saying, but the intention of the saying was to collaborate. Don't argue, don't conflict. Collaborate. And I still think to this day that's a real good way to go. Collaborate with people that are like-minded like you, and surround yourself with good people. That's why I don't tolerate any kind of negativity anywhere on YouTube when comments come in or whatever. A lot of people say, "Oh, you deleted my comment." That's because your comment was stupid and it was negative and it had nothing to do with anything that we were talking about, or it was something that was so outlandish. It's easy to type something crazy when you're sitting on your keyboard with the safety of your monitor and keyboard. That's just not. I don't deal with people like that. Anyway, Travel TV said. Oh, I read that. Okay. Tiger Brian Filthos are the staff in the ASQ that we can move around and also queued to the ASQ site. That is a great question. I do not have the answer to. I do not know. This is a relatively new scheme that has come up. And what gets me is, if you guys remember, if you're a regular member of this channel or you watch this channel on a regular basis, you'll remember that a month or 2 months ago, I forgot when it was. It had the another scheme that was Thailand welcomes you with open arms as long as you've had the magic shot, right? And you have your fit to fly, COE, all that stuff. Oh, and by the way, we still need you to do a queue. Like it's just one of those things. Brian retracted his message. Roger says, "Sorry, JC, short plug here. I'll be traveling soon and hope to start getting some videos out. My Asian Angel, only one short music video up, but videos will be coming Phuket within 2 weeks." No problem for a plug there, Roger. No problem. I saw your Facebook that said you will be going to Phuket for 2 weeks. I have not been to Phuket, so by all means, let us know what Phuket is like. James says success seems to upset the troll. Oh, so if you if you want to see a troll get pissed off, just be successful, right? I don't consider myself anywhere close to being a big YouTuber, especially with the views I'm getting on videos lately. I'm gonna have to do something to redefine the way that I vlog or that I communicate content. I think that it's not so much the content that I put out. It's I've fallen off the wagon in terms of SEO and tagging properly and making titles that are searchable. And then another thing you have to remember about this channel, this is not a niche channel. We don't do just one thing, right? We do more life. So in life, that could involve a video about, how to have a better mindset regularly. We could talk about just ways to become more positive. And then we could travel to Krabi and have videos there. So YouTube, my subscribers, YouTube doesn't always show all the videos on their home pages when when I put them out, because it may be something they're not interested in, and that holds back the growth of the channel. But at the same time, that's the kind of channel I want to have, and I'm not going to compromise my own integrity or compromise the integrity of what I built here and what you guys have helped me build just to get clicks and views. I'm just not going to do it. Anyway, moving on. MedTech says collaboration, not competition. That's what it was. Very good, MedTech. Very good. Very good. And yes, James, success will kill them every time. Every time. You'll get trolled to death. Roger says, I ran into one of the grumpy expats in the restaurant Little Italy and Soy Cowboy. He was so rude to the waitress, it was embarrassing. And that happens. You'll see that more. You will see an expat being rude or disrespectful more times than you will see an expat being mild-mannered, calm, logical, pragmatic, and just a good person in general. You'll see that. You really will. Not been to Samoa yet, Curtis. Hopefully that would be one of the next trips. I don't know. Again, everything depends on my channel fund in terms of traveling. So that's how we pay for traveling. I tell the subscribers of the channel and members of the channel, you know, that's investing in content. It's an investment in the channel. It's an investment of what you want to see. So you guys want to see more content? We need a bigger channel fund. That's just the way it works. I hate to be that way, but it is what it is. Robert Mack says, I retired from life of work and I started a YouTube channel a little over a year ago for a hobby. I'm sure glad I don't depend on revenue from it because I'd be starving. Exactly. And I do depend on revenue from this channel for various things. Lots of times the AdSense will be enough for me to be able to go on a short, like maybe a day trip like I did last Friday to Pattaya to kind of bring some news from there with my feet on the ground there. And then some of you guys know about my heart and the other things that I have wrong with me. And that takes the medication that I have to buy takes a substantial amount of money. So I don't get to use a lot of my salary from teaching towards anything but living bills and that kind of thing. And that's why we have other methods. But no pity party or anything. I'm just saying, for those of you that are new and don't know, that's the deal. Yes, Robert Mack, I understand your point 100%. Wild Dove X says, YouTube quit sending notifications to subscribers signed up for notifications last August. I lost track of dozens of channels after that. The best way you can make sure that you never miss a DoMoreLife video is beside the subscribe button, there's a bell. If you click that bell, or if you hover over that bell, it'll give you three choices. At the very top, it'll say all. In the middle, it'll say personalized. And at the bottom, it'll say none. So you want to click all. If you click all, then every time I put out a video, you will get a notification that the videos come out. Every time. Let's see here. Ryan Gwynn says, I seen a report that some expats were in danger of being deported by the Thai government because they didn't have 13,000 the equivalent in the bank account. That's always a possibility. Yeah, if you have that's on retirement visas, marriage visas, and that number changes if you're on a marriage visa. It's about, I think it's about half that, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, that is a possibility. But to be on a retirement visa, you're supposed to have 800,000 baht in the bank if you're by yourself, and then if you are or you can show 65,000 baht a month coming in, which is in U.S. dollars right now is about $2,300, I think, a month coming in, something like that. Then if you're on a marriage visa, you have to show 45,000 baht a month coming in, or 400,000 baht in a bank account here in Thailand. Greg says trolls hate success because it's something they will never realize in their life. 100%. 100%. Rocco says, well, X sells in any thumbnail. It is what it is. That's true. James says, how do you handle the heat with your air conditioning? It's not bad. For the most part, I don't have a lot of problems with it because the medication I take. The only time it really gets me is in high stress situations or when I'm really, really, really tired. Like, I've been going nonstop for the last 2 months, traveling as much as possible, and not getting the adequate amount of rest that I need. Plus, work has been extremely stressful. It's the end of the school year. So, for me personally, that's a recipe for disaster. Like, I woke up this morning and just, it was, it's not a good thing for me to be in where I'm at right now, and physically. So I just have to step back and slow down on the videos, which is unfortunate because that slows down on the revenue. All I ask that is, if you guys, I have over 800 videos on the channel. I might have over 900 now, between the Philippines and Thailand. So if there's a video on there that you like, that you think other people that may be interested in traveling, the best thing you can do to help me grow this channel is to share videos. That's it. Just share videos. That in and of itself will be the biggest help in the world. And I always appreciate it. But good question, James. Bradley, good morning to you, sir, or good evening. Glad to see you in the chat. Much appreciated. Robert Mack says, Jeremy, sometimes we don't get notifications. Well, I hope I just explained why. If you turn on if you go to the subscribe button on my channel and you go to that bell and click, either hover over the bell or click the bell, and it'll give you 3 choices. Click all. You will always get notifications for every piece of content I put out. James says, you always look tired in your YouTube shorts. That's because I have been lately. I really have been. And in my YouTube shorts, I want to start doing some different things with those. I really enjoy doing those 1-minute videos. I think they're a lot of fun. You can pass along a lot of information in 1 minute. So for those of you that have not seen YouTube shorts and want to see YouTube shorts, I have a playlist that are my YouTube shorts. And I'm pretty tired most of the time, and I've been pretty tired most of the time for the last few months because, I mean, if you think about it, I've done a lot of traveling over the last couple months. And then now I've depleted the channel fund. I've even depleted my own savings account to make sure that I could get all this traveling in to have all this content. So right now is kind of a rebuilding time for me. I'm never secure until financially until like mid-June. Because I have to buy my insurance again, my private health insurance and all that stuff. So there's just a bunch of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know about. And it's sometimes it's a struggle, sometimes it's not. It's all good. But I understand your point. Ryan says 2,300 a month. Is that right? Seems high. I might be wrong. Roger McGee says 21.27 as of today's exchange rate. So there you go, Ryan. I was close. I knew it was somewhere in that neighborhood. Robert Mack said, thank you, Roger. Robert Mack says, I just checked and unsubbed and resubbed and made sure the bell is off. Perfect. Good job, Robert Mack. So now you will definitely not miss anything. You won't miss anything. I encourage some of you that watch this channel to become a channel member. You're welcome, Ryan. Or Roger. You're welcome from Roger. I encourage as many people as possible to become channel members because I don't want you to miss out on anything. You get more alerts and you get more information as a channel member, and it's very, very easy to become one. You just hit the little join button below, and it'll tell you what you're going to get. And the only thing that we're not using right now is the email system, and that's just because we found that nobody was really interested in the email system. Other than that, everything else is a go, and I've added some things that I just hadn't put in there yet. So for exclusive content, become a channel member. And if you want to travel or you want to see me travel, you want to see the channel grow, feel free to make a contribution. I don't call it donation because to donate to someone means that there's no purpose behind your money, really. To contribute tend in my mind is more of like an investment. Like I'm making a small investment in what this channel is going to do and what it can do for me in terms of providing information. And if you are one of those guys that are thinking about going to Pattaya, I have so many videos on Pattaya. It's it's one of those things that I really enjoy the city. I have friends there, and I like to go there. So I have a playlist of what not to do in Pattaya or in Pattaya. I have one video that has a couple million views that laid out some rules in my earlier days, about 2 years ago in Pattaya. And I'm still working on the playlist of what not to do in Thailand, things not to do. And people think it's a Debbie Downer situation, and that's not the case at all. Just trying to help expats that want to come over not have to experience some of the things that I had to experience or that I saw people experience because it's just no fun. Travel TV says you spend more money making a YouTube channel than you will making money on YouTube, especially in the beginning. That's 100% true, Travel TV, 100%. Autumn Age says, got to run now. Thanks for the info, Jeremy. See you next time. No problem, Autumn. Tomorrow, by the way, guys, tomorrow I'm going to do some kind of live stream where I break down the entire news cycle of Thailand, what's going on, and what you need to know about upcoming stuff. Or I may do a video about a different topic that I've been thinking about doing for a while. So we'll see what happens on tomorrow's live stream, but tomorrow's live stream will start at 9 a.m. Bangkok time. So that'll be 9 p.m. on the East Coast of the U.S. I encourage everyone to please come and hang out, if nothing else. Insomniac92 says, off topic, what is your favorite food in the United States versus Thailand? Hot dog. That's the easy one. Hot dog. I love me some hot dogs. Love me some hot dogs, and I cannot find a good hot dog here in Thailand. Now there are places that make hot dogs that I haven't tried yet, but the hot dog would be the very first. We may do a Q&A like that tomorrow. I think that would be something pretty cool. Costco hot dogs, yep. You can buy those, but I mean, like going to a, you know how, well, I don't know. In America, you have like these food trucks, right? They're like hot dog stands on wheels, and you go to them and, hey Scott, hey Michael, yeah, and cornbread. That's another one. Good point, Michael. Cornbread. Cornbread is one food that I miss more than anything. Pinto beans and cornbread. Pinto beans, cornbread. But for hot dogs, you know, you go to a hot dog truck or something like that in America, and you just get you get the relish and the mustard and the onions and all that stuff and the cheese, the melted cheese, and I just hadn't been able to find that yet. Hello, Viral Crunch. Peaches. Oh my gosh, love peaches. I was just talking about that yesterday, Travel TV. I was talking to some of my coworkers, and we were talking about from where I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, we would drive a lot to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And on that trip, once you get down in the sand hills of North Carolina and South Carolina, there's so many just fruit stands on the side of these big highways that have peaches and strawberries and blueberries and blackberries and, all that other stuff. And I think it's phenomenal. I think it's just fun. And the food was just, those peaches were so good. They were so fresh, and you could sugar dip them. Oh, man, it was great. Griffin says, I'm over and out. Thanks for the info. You're more than welcome, sir. Have a great day. Thank you, Griffin, for being a longtime member there. I appreciate it. Robert Mack says, Pink's world famous for hot dogs in Hollywood, California, USA. Interesting. Chrissy says, a hot dog stand in Bangkok seems like a good business opportunity. I know, right? Especially for if you could get around a spot that had a lot of like American tourists, people that eat hot dogs. Travel Eats says, hey, well, hello to you. Travel TV, Carolina peaches of the softness in the world, are of the softness in the world. Gotcha, bud. They are super soft, super nice, super sweet, super enjoyable. And if you take just a little bit of sugar and put on them, oh man, it's amazing. It's unhealthy to put sugar on them, but still good. Speaking of which, I've been working on my diet the best I can, so we're trying. Thailand needs lucky dog carts. That would be awesome, Philthos. That would be awesome. That really would be awesome. To have something like that. Especially to set up a hot dog stand near your apartment. That would be cool. I don't think you can, it's not legal, I don't think, for a foreigner to set up a food service business like that here in Thailand. There are a list of jobs that you can't do in Thailand. You can find on Thai Visa and other websites, and that's probably one of them. Bob says, Pinky's West Side Grill in Charlotte, a burger and a beer. Woo! I don't drink anymore, but I haven't tried Pinky's West Side Grill in Charlotte. If you're talking about Charlotte, North Carolina, Bob, I haven't seen that. Maybe it's a new place. Not sure. Yes, I am on a diet, James, but it's it's not a diet like made to make me slim or muscular or anything else. It's just it's a healthy diet, made to make me more healthier. Viral Crunch says, I would love to spend a few months in Thailand once travel is allowed. Brother, we have been talking about it for months and months and months, and we are at wit's end about what needs to happen. The bottom line is, when it comes to Thailand travel and the tourism in Thailand, reopening tourism in Thailand, it's not going to happen in mass numbers, and it's not going to happen or for the average person until they do away with the 14-day queue. And I say it's not because it hasn't so far. Thailand has been great at coming up with schemes, these tourism schemes that we were talked about earlier in the video. They come up with these schemes and they throw these things at tourists. And if you have plenty of money and you plan on to retire here, or you plan on to stay here for an extended period of time, or if you just have plenty of money and want to come for a short duration, then they work. It's not a big deal. But for your middle class person, you don't have that kind of time off work, and you don't have that kind of money, and you certainly don't have both at the same time. I know I wouldn't, and that kind of hurts my heart a little bit. I would like to see more people back in Thailand, and I'm sure the Thai government would too. And they're doing their best to protect they're doing their best to protect the country. They've always done that since I've been here. I've been here 3 years. Be 3 years next month, and I think that the Thailand government has always done what's best to protect the Thais and their country, and they will continue to do that. And I have no problem with that. in many ways, I wish the USA government would take a few plays out of Thailand's playbook on various situations. So, it is what it is. Robert Mack says, "What's the name of the drink to help hydrate us in Thailand, or additives to put in water?" 1 second. So this is one right here. This box. This would be one of them. They come in. There's packets in this box you can put in for dehydration. But my favorite is this stuff. This Royal D. There's more of it, and there's more electrolytes in it. So this is my pick. I don't know what yours would be. I also have another brand that I used to use, but since I found this Royal D, you can buy these for $7 a piece at 7-Eleven, or you can go to a pharmacy and get them for you get a whole box of them. It's just electrolyte powder, so you don't need prescriptions or anything. You can get a whole box of them for about 350 baht, 500 baht, something like that. So for about $15, and that box will last you 60 days or so. However many packets are in there, I use 1 or 2 a day, and that lasts me for a long time. Roger McGee says, "JC, I know you've seen some of my pics from that place with the P, Park. Would make for a great video and easy day trip for you." That was some great pics, and hang on, let me take a screenshot real quick, because I have not heard of that park, nor have I been there before. But if it's a day trip, then I will certainly take it over my holidays in April. It's like I told you guys. I said, I told you one of my goals was to do photo shoots again and have some behind the scene footage for channel members. I did that. You have 2 videos now behind the scenes with that. You also have exclusive photos in the members area that nobody else has, and that I won't be putting on Instagram. Some of the photos I will, but not all of them. In addition, I said I wanted to explore more hotels here in Bangkok, and I wanted to explore more of Bangkok. So I did that. At the same time, I did the photo shoot. So I'm accomplishing these little goals one by one, and that's what I'm trying to do. And it just takes a little bit of help from people that love the channel for me to be able to do that. That's all. I'll look into that day trip, Roger. I promise. Chris C says, and they should protect their country and culture, not let it get overrun. Of course, I agree 100%. Viral Crunch says, I do YouTube, so I could easily spend 2 weeks in a hotel and just work if it meant I can go to Thailand. Then go for it, buddy, because you can do it. If you can spend 2 weeks in a hotel and you got the money to pay for it, you can do it. Travel Elite says, agree. Mark says, I'm really liking this hot dog stand idea. Come get your Polish dog with the fried onions and pepper. Ooh, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. Filtho says, JC will never have problems with the lèse majesté laws. Nope, I won't, because I'm smart enough not to say anything. Aloha Ty says, I am so late. It's okay. It's no problem at all. Don't worry. James says, hydration also comes from food. Make sure you're eating properly. Yeah, that's what they've been, that's what my doctor has got me on. I bought a blend jet and have been making some really healthy smoothies and trying to eat those for breakfast and dinner, and then have like some protein-based foods at lunch, such as boiled eggs and grilled chicken breast. I eat that a lot with some soy sauce. Chrissy says, I see the Royal D electrolytes available on Amazon. It's rated 2 stars. Royal D should support your channel to raise their sales. Yes, they should. I'm always looking for sponsors, so that would be nice. And If they were to do that, that would be great. I don't know why they're rated 2 stars. I wouldn't understand that. I love them myself, so I have no problem with them. And I wonder why they would be rated 2 stars. Because they have pretty much everything you need in them. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. These are the best. I've been told. You guys know I don't drink, but I've been told that these are the best things in the world for a hangover. And also, these are good as well for hangovers and that kind of thing. So you guys that come to party and want to make sure you don't have a terrible hangover, drink a little bit of water with one of those before you go to bed. You'll feel better in the morning. Drink one when you get up. You'll be good to go. Probably 45 minutes from downtown Bangkok. Yeah, that'll work. That'll be a good day trip. Robert Mack says, James Dean, that's true. Yeah, it is true. Bradley says, Roger McGee, what does the little wrench mean next to your name? I see the wrench sometimes, not sure what it means. Thanks. That means he's a moderator. He can delete, remove comments, block people, hide people from the channel. That's what the wrenches mean besides some of the people's names. What's up, Ross? Good to see you, brother. Travel Eat says, random question. Are those blue blocking computers? Yes, they are. Gaming glasses. I just ordered a pair online. They are. These are cheaper ones. These are not like the expensive ones, but they do work. I look at a computer monitor just about all day at work, so I use them a lot. Big C, good morning to you. It's great to see you. Thank you for dropping by. Andy says, good afternoon, bro, from Mollymook, Australia. The surf was huge today. If you're a surfer, I guess that was good, Andy, I would say. But good afternoon or evening to you, whatever time it is. I'm not sure. Bradley says, okay, thank you. Now I know, finally. Yeah, that's it. It just means they're moderators. That's all. Help protect the channel and the best interest of it. Robert Mack says, Chris, I'm going to check Amazon. Any good ones you know about? Ask him. I don't know. Viral Current says, how long would the visa be good after Q? So that depends on if you get you can get a 45-day visa. You can get various types. Here's the thing I would encourage you to do before I answer that question, because I've answered it a lot, and my basic answer always comes down to the same thing. Number one, contact Integrity Legal. Integrity Legal. You can find them on the internet at integrity-legal.com. Okay, and they're a reputable law firm here in Bangkok. They will answer all of your questions about visas and anything else you need to know. They give free phone consultations. Go through them. That way you don't have to go through a YouTuber. Okay, because I don't want to say something that would be mistaken. Ross says, Travel Eats, if they are in Amberlands, you will be very happy with them. Haven't tried that one yet, Ross. Chris C. Robert, not sure what you are asking. Lyle says, hey, Ross, Travel Eats. Yep, got an Amber Gunner Vortex glasses. Wow, sounds good. Any changes to visas will not be announced until we are past this. Ideas keep changing weekly. Yep, that's what we discussed earlier. And I didn't even go through all the, just so you guys know, I didn't go through all the schemes that Thailand's put out. I basically only covered 2. The newest one, well, 3. The newest one, and the special tourist visa, which was the original one, and the 45-day tourist visa. So that, but there's been many more in there. Hey, Pampon. Hello, good morning. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Hello, thank you for coming on. Robert Mack says, what are the glasses called, and can we get them from an eye doctor or where? Yeah, you can get them from an eye doctor, but you don't have to go to an eye doctor here if you're in Thailand to get these. I got these at just a regular store in the mall. the blue, black, and lenses. Andy says, Big Surf is always good. Totally knackered now. I hear you. Roger says, just an aside, I've been really surprised and enjoying some of the music they have here in Thailand. It is interesting. It is interesting music that they have, and I think that in many cases it like Ross says there, it kind of grows on you. Yeah, and I agree with Ross on the TV show. I just can't watch Thai TV shows. It's just not my forte. I can't watch it because I don't understand enough of the language. That's why people still call me a tourist, even though I'm not. Robert says, Jeremy, do you wear prescription glasses or reading or on the computer? Sometimes I have a pair of reading glasses. Sometimes I wear them, sometimes I don't. But I definitely wear the blue lens for sure. Travel Elite says you can get cheap glasses on Amazon for $20. Yes, you can. I'm sure you can. Roger says Sam O is a beautiful singer. Interesting. Insomniac 92. What happens if I get too drunk and get a boob job? Just wondering if worse comes to worse. Well, if you're bringing $60K with you for 2 weeks, I think you'll be covered anyway. Andy says you're not a tourist, mate. I know I'm not a tourist, but a lot of people try to say that I am because I haven't learned the language, and I tell them, look, since I've been here, about 6 weeks after I got here, I started teaching in Rayong, and I taught there for 16 months. I worked in the EP program, which was a bunch of expats, right? So a lot of English in there. The Thai kids that I taught were required to speak English, so never really got a chance to mingle with a bunch of people that spoke Thai. Didn't have a girlfriend long enough to learn Thai. It just hadn't been. It's just one of those things. Now I'm in another situation where I've been at this job for a year and a half, and here in Bangkok teaching, and where it's just all expats again. And there's one person there that is Thai. Well, there are a lot of Thais that work there, but I'm talking about in terms of teachers. But he lived in America for a long time, so he speaks English all the time, rarely speaks Thai. The only time he speaks Thai that I've heard him speak Thai is when he's talking to Thai people, or if I need him to translate something on my phone. That's when it helps to have friends that speak and understand the Thai language for sure. So I will learn Thai. I've learned a little bit of Thai, and would love to learn a lot more. Thank you for whoever just hit the thumbs up button. I would love to see that number be 50 before we get off this live stream. I think it's been a great live stream. We haven't had any contributions or super chats, but we have had a good conversation, and that is just as important. And I appreciate it. Christy says, Jeremy, where do you enjoy yourself in Bangkok? Don't give away your position. I'm on the I'm on the western side of Bangkok. I'm not. I would never give away my position. Don't worry about that. But I'm on the western side of Bangkok. Probably about 30 minutes, maybe by motorbike from downtown, from like the Asok area. Probably about 30 minutes by motorbike. It probably wouldn't take that long by BTS. There's a BTS station close to me. The good thing about living where I live is it's quieter. It's still Bangkok traffic. Don't get me wrong. The Bangkok traffic, it's still Bangkok. But the good thing is it's a little bit quieter than being like downtown Bangkok. Like being in the Asok region or Nana region or somewhere like that. But you know, it also poses a problem when you want to go out and do things. But I really don't have, my life basically consists of teaching and YouTube, and that's it. I create videos, edit videos, post videos, and teach. That's pretty much my life. And when I have holidays, I try to travel. That's pretty much it. I don't do a lot of anything else because I just don't have any more hours in the day. Mark says, oh wait, hang on, I missed. Andy says, next time in Thailand, I want to learn some of the language, maybe like a 1 week course or something. You can do that. There's all kinds of ways to do that. Roger says that there are tons of free Thai lessons on Facebook. That is very true, Roger. Good point. Mark says, have you heard of New World Teachers? They were around 20 years ago when I earned my ESL certificate. Then they fell off the edge of the earth. I have not heard of that, Mark. I have not. Filtho says your position is probably known. The trolls have detailed files and no live. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I am 100% certain that there are plenty of trolls that know where I live. But I'm not going to give out my position, because if they give out my position, then they're doxing me. That is illegal. Andy says, I'd rather a face-to-face course like my uni days. I'm more face-to-face myself too. I like face-to-face learning, and I'm a visual learner, and I like to ask questions. So that's kind of how I learn. I'm not a guy that can take a lot of online courses and learn a bunch of stuff. I need that interaction with somebody, and in many cases, I need to be shown how to do something, and then I can replicate it, and then build on it. Roger says, I meant on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's YouTube, but you're also right about Facebook. There's language groups on Facebook for Thai, and YouTube is loaded with people that have or that speak Thai and that teach Thai. Same thing with in the Philippines. If you want to learn Tagalog, and that's what I call it, Tagalog. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but they teach that online. Some of the members, some of the channels have members areas that do exclusively that. So Roger said I could speak enough Thai to get around before I got here, and the Thais really appreciate it. They do really appreciate it when you can speak Thai. And I found that the more I learn Thai, the more friendly the Thais are to me. But at the same time, they don't like hold a grudge or something because you can't speak Thai. That's just not. I personally haven't ran into that yet, and I'm very thankful for that. So anyway, we will wrap up this live chat, as I am going to get a haircut and my beard trimmed because I desperately need it. Then I'm going to come home and do what I always do: edit videos, and schedule them to go out next week. Filtho says, I've been learning through a free app from the Play Store and practicing with a massage shop owner in Pattaya. That's a good job, buddy. Chris C says, my idea of learning Thai is walking with a beautiful bilingual Thai lady who is holding my hand, giving me back rubs while walking along the beach. That would be the perfect way to learn Thai. I agree, Chris. Greg says, the more Thai you speak, the less the foreign tax can be. In many cases, that could also be true. That could also be true. Travel TV says, I got to go as well. Take care. You take care too, bud. I hope you make it back soon. I really do. For everyone else, I just want to say thank you for having a great conversation today. We're going to have another great conversation tomorrow, same time. So if you want to stop by and listen to what we're talking about, even if the topic doesn't seem like something that you would hold a lot of interest in, from time to time, we tend to get off topic on here. So drop in, say hey, see if you like what we're talking about, make some comments, and leave some comments on some videos. So the thing I would like to ask from the people that are left in this chat, is this. Find your favorite Do More Life video that you don't mind sharing and share it on your social media. That'll help the channel grow tremendously. If you're not a channel member, please consider becoming a channel member, as you will get access to the exclusive content, the voting, and the behind the scenes photo shoots, videos that I've done. You get all that for $2.99. I mean, literally, that's less than one cup of coffee a month. So that's why I keep it so cheap, and it helps me so much. So and it helps the channel as well. We want to travel in April. Keep that in mind, guys. And I will see you tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream. I hope you enjoyed this Thailand tourism schemes video. I only have 2 thumbs down. I'm slipping. Don't worry. Give them time. They will they will put some more thumbs down, I'm sure. But thank you for the 44 thumbs up that I have. If you hadn't hit the thumbs up button, I would greatly appreciate it if you did on your way out. And Insomniac, you take care. Lyle, you take care. Everybody else, my moderators, Roger and Ross and Robert, and anybody else that's in here that I can't think of right now. Hey, RC. Thank you all for doing a great job moderating the content on the channel. I really appreciate it, as always. And thank you to my Do More Life family for being so supportive and just being a great group of people. I really appreciate you guys. With that being said, whatever you do today, be sure you do more life. See ya.